Professor Diaz here, and in this video I'm going to show you how to solve exercise 1-21. So we're going to solve exercise 1-21, and this can be found on page 35 if you want to follow along in your book. The problem says that Wisco Advertising's balance sheet data at May 31st, 2018 and June 30th, 2018 follow. So it gives us two dates, 5/31, 18, oops, and 6/30, 18. And then it gives us balance sheet data. It gives us total assets. I'll just put an A there. And it gives us total liabilities. I'll put an L. It says at 5/31, assets were 122,000. And liabilities were 66,000. It tells us that at the end of June, they were 287 and 144. So the first thing I just want to make a note of is, why does it give us these two dates? Really what this means is beginning and ending, okay? Beginning of June, end of June, but we always show and report balance sheets at the end of periods, so like 5/31 or 12/31, not at the beginning. So what really this is talking about is the month of June. This would be beginning of June, this would be end of June. Okay, so I just wanted to clarify, that's why they say 5/31, 6/30. Okay, this is really June's activity. So the first thing we need to figure out is, what is our equity in those periods? Okay, now we know the accounting equation is assets equals liabilities plus equity. Hopefully this is getting drilled into your head as you're beginning your accounting journey, because this is the foundation for everything accounting. And this really is the balance sheet turned on its side, right? Your balance sheet is your assets, then your total assets, and that equals your liabilities and equity. So this really is a balance sheet without detail is what this is, okay? So we know that these assets equal liabilities plus equity. So we can figure out what our equity is by just taking 122 and subtracting 66. That will give us our equity. So we can take 122 minus 66. That equals 56,000. And we can check that because, again, assets equals liabilities plus equity, right? Our assets is 122 and our liabilities is 66, and that means our equity is 56. Again, 56 plus 66 equals 122. So we're good to go there. And at the end of our period here in end of June, we can do the same thing. 287 minus 144 equals 143. So our equity is 143. Now we have our equity at the beginning of the period here, and our equity at the end of the period here. To solve the rest of this, what the actual question asks is, for each of the following situations that occurred in June 2018, so again, this is the month of June, with regard to owner's contribution withdrawals, compute the amount of net income or net loss. So the problem is going to give us contribution and withdrawal information, and we need to calculate net income. So this is how I would set this up. I would go ahead and create a statement of owner's equity over here, and then put the dates or the situations ABC across the top. And so that's kind of what we're going to do here. So a statement of owner's equity, effectively, this is my version, my shorthand. You take beginning capital, BG is how I notate beginning capital, CAP, and then we're going to add our contributions, we're going to add net income, and we're going to subtract withdrawal. And that is going to equal ending capital. Okay, that's my shorthand for calculating capital. Okay, and it makes sense, right? Whatever capital we started with, plus what we add, plus whatever income we earn, minus what we take out, that's going to be what capital we end up with, right? Now we have beginning information here and ending information here, and specifically, Specifically, we're going to be looking at the capital line, right? So it gives us 3 different scenarios. I'll go ahead and write those scenarios here. We have scenario A, B, and C. And in all 3 scenarios, of course, our beginning capital and our ending capital are going to be the same. So beginning capital in all the scenarios is 56,000. So I'll put down 56,000. And our ending capital in all the scenarios is also going to be the same. And it's going to be here, our 143,000. 143,000. And what we need to do is then figure out what the net income is in the middle. So specifically, we're going to be figuring out this line, right? And it gives us different information for that. So for situation A, it says the owner contributed 10,000 and made no withdrawals. So contributed 10,000 and 0 withdrawals. Now, again, of course, we need to figure out what goes there. So 56, okay, 56 plus 10 plus something equals 143. Okay, to figure that out, we take the 143 and subtract these two. So we'll have 143, 143 minus 56, having trouble here, 143 minus 56 minus 10 equals 77. So the answer to A, having trouble with my iPad here. The answer to A, excuse me, iPad is malfunctioning here. Let me see if I can get it sunk back up. I'm gonna have to go figure out what's wrong with my Apple Pencil. I will be right back. Okay, I am back. As it turns out, the Apple Pencil's little tip was unscrewing and it must have been too far from the screen to get a signal. So, getting back to the problem here, we know 56 plus 10 plus something is 143, and we calculated that over here on the side by taking 143 minus 56 minus 10, and that gave us the answer for A, which is 77,000. Okay, we can do the same thing now for B. B says owner made no contributions, so 0 there, and the owner withdrew cash of 3,000. So sometimes I like to put minuses in parentheses. Not everybody does that, but I'm going to do that. So minus 3, and so again the situation is 56 plus something minus 3 equals 143. Okay, so to figure that out, we're going to take the 143, we're going to add the 3 that we've got a minus, and then subtract the 56, and that equals 90. So 90,000 was our net income for B, and C will be the last problem. Maybe go ahead and pause the video and try it on your own at this point, and then come back to the video and see if you got it right. And so it says the owner made contributions of 12,500. So we'll go ahead and put contributions of 12,500 here. And it said made withdrawals of 30. So we'll put 30,000 there. And now we can take the 143, add in the 30, subtract the 12,500. I have to put zeros on here. So we will start with the 143. We'll add in the 30. We'll subtract the 12,500, and we'll subtract the 56, and that equals 104,500. So 104,500. So this is effectively how you would solve this problem. Again, we've got a couple financial statements more or less at play. This is a balance sheet for the month of June. We got the beginning of June, the end of June. we were able to figure out the equity because we know assets equals liabilities plus equity. And then after we were able to figure out beginning and ending equity, we were able to plug that in for each situation. And then we were given information for contributions and withdrawals. Okay, so the only variable we didn't have was this income variable. And once we put all the data down, we solved algebraically for this income variable, and that's how we figured it out. So I hope this has been helpful. If you want to see more problems, go ahead and make sure to send me a message. I'd be happy to show you guys what's up on any of the problems you guys are working on in the homework.